Okay, we're on to card 4, our final card, and this one's probably going to be pretty choppy in the video because my phone is not going to let me record this in one shot. I'm going to have to stop and send it over to my computer and then kind of keep going like that. So I'll do the best I can and I'll kind of hurry. So here's the 4th card that we're going to do. We're going to use the templates that came in the kit, the little plastic templates. So stencils, not templates, it's a stencil. So this card is 5 1/4 wide by 10 1/2 long. We're going to make a square card. Again, Stampin' Up! Used to make envelopes in these different sizes, and I still have some, so I thought I would use it for this card. So we're going to fold this in half. We are going to layer on a piece of black that is 5 inches by 5 inches square. I'm going to glue that on. Like so. We've got a Poppy Parade that is 4 and let me see, I want to say it was 4 7/8, but yep, nope, 4 3/4. 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I did go down a whole quarter on this layer. So we're going to measure that up and glue it down. Okay, then I've got another basic black layer that is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Go ahead and glue that down. Try and put that right as close to center as I can get it. And then I'm going to set that aside for now. So now I'm bringing in a white piece of paper that is larger than what we need. And I'm going to glue the stencil onto that. I'm not gluing it. I'm going to use the washi tape and tape it down so that the paper stays in place and the stencil stays in place. I'm going to tape that down to keep it from moving because we're going to sponge. You can either sponge, or if you happen to have a blending brush, you can use a blending brush. And I've got Poppy Parade ink here, and I'm going to start by taking the blending brush, picking up some of my Poppy Parade ink, and then I want to start like blending off the paper and on into what I got going on here. Probably need more washi tape actually to hold that down better, because I want to actually be darker in the center and then blend outward toward the edges and have it be lighter toward the edges. And this, I used it once already and it's kind of raised up, so I want to blend outward so that it's lighter. So I guess I'm just going to try and hold that down and kind of drag out. So I'm going to go around in the center. I want my center darker, but again I want to start off my page a little bit so that I don't have any hard splotches of putting the brush down. Like over here, you'll get a mark that you won't be able to blend away very easily. So I want to be darker in the center, and then I'm going to pull out toward the edges off the center. Hold that down so that my rays are kind of blending out, I guess we can call it. And like I said, I'm going to try and hold these down because I've washed it. I don't know if I dried it funky. But you could see right here, I put that down on the paper too hard, and now I got the darker marks from putting it down. It's very hard to blend those spots out, but we'll see what we got. Everybody's is going to look different. And I did want my center darker, so I'm going to try and go around in a circle there without moving my stencil around too much. And with these blending brushes, I find the more that I kind of go over the same area, it gets a lot smoother looking, and it does tend to lighten it up a little bit even as it blends it and smooths it. So I'm going to call that good before I get too crazy and wind up with smearing it too much. So I'm going to take this up off of my paper, and now I did do this on a larger piece of paper than what we need, just because of the need to hold it down with the washi tape. So I'm going to go and cut this, and you could see I got my stencil moved a couple times on me, and I went off the underneath it. But this one here, I then went back with my brush with just what little bit was still in my brush to kind of smear it around a little bit more, blend it out, kind of so it's not quite so stark white. So I'm going to pause this, I'm going to cut this down, and then I will be back. So I cut this down to 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and now I'm going to glue it onto my card front, and it looks like I might want to trim down one side just a smidge more. I tried to go right up to where the pattern the edge of the template ended. That looks a little closer, and I missed that one little spot, so I didn't go quite enough over. So 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 will fit that pretty well onto the black here, like so. Okay, now I'm going to set it aside again and get out my piece of white that we have in the kit. And on this card, I'm using the Sweet Strawberry set. So we're going to make 3 strawberries outlined in black. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta find my strawberry die because this punches out really strange, but let me stamp it down and see what I get. So I gotta get 3 strawberries. Oh, I know. Hang on, I gotta see, because this is just gonna be a waste of time to stamp this and have to redo it. So we want our paper about 1.5 inches tall, and there's not going to be any way around not getting these other pieces in. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out my strawberries. And get them done. Like so. Should have room to get the last one on here. The strawberry punch is very nice, but it just doesn't, oops, I'm going to do that one on the other side. It doesn't fare too well for all of the extra pieces and parts that you got to get with it. Alright, so we've got our 3 berries. And then I'm going to do, I got to do 3 tops now. So I brought over my other piece right here after I cut it. Let's do 3 strawberry tops. So I want the outline in black. Let's get this one. Put 3 of those on this piece. And this piece is about 1.25 inches wide. And actually, before I cut these, because these are going to be a little smaller, and I could have done this with the other one as well, but I think I can stamp on those. I'm going to do the solid part before I punch these out, because they are tinier. So I got my garden green. And I'm going to fill these in before I punch. Just to get them taken care of. Now these should go in to the punch and come out all right. I hope, because I didn't realize I was going to get that piece. Oh good, it looks like it's going to be out of the way. For this one. So 2 strawberry tops. And now here you could attach a post-it note to this piece of paper so that you could fish it through, but I didn't want to stop and go get that, so I did it like that. So now we got our 3 strawberries punched out, ready to go. And I will go ahead then and stamp these 3 in the solid color, and I'm going to do them in my Poppy Parade, and see, they might look better in red, but since the paper is Poppy Parade, I'm going to do the strawberries as well. Oh, those look good. So filling in the strawberries. And this stamp is, I don't know if you can see it over here, it's designed to have that white stuff spot on it. So that's why it doesn't look like it's, now that one might not have stamped all the way, but it looks like it's not stamping all the way, but it's because of the way it's designed. So I am going to glue these onto the top, and I'm going to stop and I'll be back. We're going to now glue these, not glue them, we're going to pop them up on the front of the card using our dimensionals. And there's no rhyme or reason, you know, it's all random, however you want them to be on the front. You could go straight across if you wanted, or however you so choose. I'm going to put mine back on in the bunch of 3, and I'll see if I can cover up some of this random badness on my stenciling there. It's not quite as noticeable maybe, now that I stuck that down before I was ready. Alright, then we're going to take a white strip of paper. Let's see, I cut white strips, but I don't think that that's really how we want to do it. We want to stamp our sentiment, "That was so sweet of you," from the strawberry set. Let's see if I can get, I don't think I can get it that way. What I did on the first one was I cut it out. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's not going to work so much. So let me show you what I did. I stamped it down twice, just in case. Oops, and I'm off my... Stamped it down twice, and then I cut it out. And don't cut it perfectly, so you can make it kind of all not uniform if you want. Depends if it bothers you. If it's not perfectly uniform, like, you know, it'll bother me, and I'll keep whacking away at it here until it's so tiny that I got to do it again. But I'm going to stop. So then I layered that onto some Poppy Parade. Like so. Cut that off. And then I layered that on my black, but it doesn't look like my black's as wide as my Poppy Parade, so I'm going to trim that down a smidge. See how good I can do, if I can. Jared or Dodie told me to watch where the tip of your scissors and stuff. When you draw, look where you want, where it's going, not where it's at. And that will help you make a straighter line. So far, I haven't had great success with that theory, but I still might need to cut down I can't cut too much more off. And then I stuck that on a black. And then I glued that onto my card. And I put it up in the center. That was so. And then we'll get the "of you" off the bottom, off this piece, because we'll need the sweet from the other one, so. Let's see if I can cut this one while I got the whole thing in my hand. I got a bigger piece to hang on to. Come back. And again, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight and stuff. You can make it, if it's crooked, I've seen it where they make them look crooked on purpose. Mine's just looking crooked, not on purpose, but it's not looking crooked either, guys. It is crooked, not on purpose. Stick that down. This is a tiny one, so I'm going to cut it. Well, I got it in my hand. And big. Like so. I got this one trimmed pretty close. But you can, you know, stamp it more than twice if you want, and then precisely cut it with your trimmer. I'm not precisely cutting it with my hands. Like so. I'll glue that one down. Actually, I don't want to glue that one down. Oh yeah, I do. I'll glue it down over here. Put the of you, and then on the sweet, I just tried to like trim around it. And I'm taking note from the girl from the video the other night who said to move the paper and start way up in the, I'm going to call it the crotch of the scissor, and move the paper, not the scissors so much. But I do have a point right there I don't want. I'll cut that off. Let's see how we can come around with the rest of the sweet. Can you hear Mike banging around upstairs? He's in the, I don't know what he's looking for. Derek's social security card for something. And I'm just going to go straight across there, and then we'll come up this way to finish off our sweet. So then now we've got our sweet. Actually, my W does look kind of weird not being down in there, so let's see if I can go down in there a smidge. Just give it a little crook cut out. And then I did the same thing there. I glued that onto red. Is this going to be wide enough? No, it's not wide enough. I got another piece, so I'm going to glue my sweet down. You can use your liquid glue on this because it is tiny, but I'm covering it with tape runner. Alright, so now I've got it onto my Poppy Parade, and then I'm just going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to do the same thing again on black, and then glue it onto the front. But I'm going to do that so that my video is not too long. You don't need to watch me cut, so I'll be right back. Alright, I got it cut out, and now I'm going to glue it onto the black. And then I'm going to cut it out. I'll be right back. Alright, so they're all done now. And if you're not huge on all this cutting, then by all means, don't do it. Just make yourself a sentiment that goes across the whole area down here, just make one sentiment. I was just trying to, oh, I didn't want that dimensional down that far. Probably only one dimensional is all we need, and then a little smidge of glue to glue it flat on top of the strawberries, so like that. Oh, I got some black on there, but I will look for my sand eraser and try and get that off. But that's card number 4, you guys. So I hope you like the cards we did this month, and I'll be back again later. Talk to you soon. Bye.